How is everyone doing today? In this video, we are going to talk about something that I think is pretty important when it comes to the anniversary that we are about to have. We'll have a video as well talking about the master skills because it did release basically what all of them are going to be. So that will be its own video. But one of the main things we're going to talk about today is going to be the upcoming units that should be coming around the anniversary. Of course, I've already made the video talking about what characters are coming, what are they doing when it comes to the brand new Kanade, the brand new Yuri, the brand new the brand new Irie. I've already talked about these characters for the most part, and they have their own separate videos. So if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch that one. Talking about these characters. But I did say in my video that these characters are not necessarily a must-have in any shape or form, and not saying that they're bad. Kanade ends up being really good as soon as Ruka Diva comes out because of the way she synergizes well with her with DP recovery, and also for the fact that Kanade also has Mind's Eye to herself, which she gets from her SS1, which is really nice. Irie is just a really good overall sustain, and man, Yuri is just a really nice overall unit for ice when it comes to adding super break to the enemy, which of course allows you to get an extra 300% of destruction bar, which is really a nasty amount of extra damage that you can put onto the enemy. But of course, some of these have caveats, right? Yuri, for the most part, being a super break character, this means that you are taking away a role from another character. So it means you're either taking away buffs, you're either taking away other debuffs, you're taking away sustain, you're taking away damage dealer, something in that nature, taking away this devastation bar character. There's a lot of different things that you have to give up with having a super break character on the team, unless you have teammates that allow you, for the most part, to be able to multi-roll. So if a character is able to buff and debuff, if a character is able to debuff plus do a damage, that's the difference that allows super break characters to work so well on a team. And if you don't have those characters necessary, then it is a little bit harder to use Yuri for the most part when you are trying to slot in a super break character on a team. Irie, just a sustain. For the most part, a lot of people have Aoi. If you haven't already, there's many ways to get Aoi for using Angel Wings, because Angel Wings is just busted, and it will continue to be busted for a very long time. There's only very slim chances that there's an enemy that counters always Angel Wings, and if that's the case, well, it's just a one-time thing and you would have to slide in another sustain. But Irie is a really good sustain overall. And then Kanade ends up being a really nice ice damage dealer whenever Ruka Diva comes out, and ends up being a good one anyway, as long as you have SS1 Kanade, because that means you're able to give yourself Mind's Eye, which frees up a slot into the team that she's going to be on. But in no way stretch of how these characters are in game, not saying that they're bad, but there are some really good characters that will be coming out as time goes by. And when I say that, I mean we are in a timeline with a lot of really great characters that should be coming out very soon, and I would not be surprised if we end up getting a really nice character for the second part of the anniversary that's not Angel Beats related, because as you can see, this is the first half of the first anniversary event, so there's going to be a second half with probably an equally as crazy lineup. This is our second part of the Angel Beats update, so this means that we still are waiting to get our third, which we'll probably get it in the half anniversary or something like that. We have to see how that's going to work out, but the second half should be something big for the game itself, and not necessarily be the collab for Angel Beats. And this is where it gets a little scary, because the timeline that we're in, we're close to a lot of really good units. Some of them include that's the wrong page. We have, of course, Kanade and Yuri that we've already seen, but the main characters that we could potentially be seeing: Unison Yuki, who's going to be a pretty nice debuffer, not necessarily needed, but a pretty good debuffer with a pretty good passive skill. We have Sumomo, who's going to be an integral and very strong character for the Pierce Cret meta. We also have Hisame, who is going to be the ice overrider, so it'll be our next overrider of the sets of overriders that have come out, with Tsukasa and who are the other ones? Oh, Sharo being the ones that have come out, so it's really nice to see. Admiral Aoi is definitely a contender as well, who is going to be a must-have buffer for your teams because of all that she can provide. And then last but not least, Ruka Diva, which is what I think realistically the anniversary might pull out, even though she's like way ahead of all of these guys. I feel like there's a big part of me that thinks that Ruka Diva or Admiral Aoi will be the number one contender for first anniversary, just due to the fact that how important they are, and also how popular they are, with Aoi being as popular as she is, Ruka being the main character of the story, game, whatever you want to say. These two characters just seem like very high potential pieces of it, with maybe Hisame even being on the banner alongside them. We don't know, honestly. The timeline is really squished right now. As you can see, we're pretty much in this range. We've already gotten Irene, we've already gotten Yuina, we've already gotten Mari, Megumi. We just got this Maki and Chiroru banner. Hisame is sandwiched in between the Maki and Chiroru banner with Isuzu and Minori, and of course shout out to Bakasu Files, because it's always the best resource ever. And we have Hisame here, which we haven't gotten yet. This is the Overrider, so we've already passed Hisame when it comes to the list of characters that have to come out. Yuki is right here. She is sandwiched between Isuzu and well, for the most part, all these characters haven't come out yet, but they're pretty close, because we've already gotten this Isuzu banner that has just left, if I'm not wrong. So there are a couple of banners, but these are a little more filler banners, like the Carol right here that we're gonna probably end up getting very soon. But it's probably gonna be like a side banner, like it'll be alongside a main banner. But we already had this Isuzu. Hisame has already been passed, so she is definitely overdue to come into the game. Alongside with that, we are really close to Yuki, which is one of the characters I said was pretty close. After Yuki, we're right there with Sumomo, who's end up the Pierce crit unit, and then right after Sumomo, we're right there with Aoi again, and then right after Aoi, we're only 2 banners down from Ruka. Realistically, as I said before, Ruka D.Va does seem like a pretty good choice for the anniversary unit, because with anniversaries, they usually we do a little bit of power creep. And that's not just for anniversary, that's not just to make fun of, I guess you could say, how gacha games are for the most part when it comes to anniversaries. Whenever anniversary comes out, bam, like new power creep unit. But for the most part, Ruka D.Va is definitely one of those characters you need to get. She becomes the new Yingxia with turn-based buffs rather than regular buffs, so she gives 3 turns of hit count, which is kind of nasty. And then not only that, you also get 5 turns of frontline crit rate up, 5 turns of crit damage up, and 5 turns of Party D.Va. And Party D.Va allows you to get DP back based on the damage you do, which is actually pretty strong. She's definitely one of those characters you want to grab. Same with Admiral Aoi, just because of what they're able to do. Admiral Aoi, Party DP revival, so if everybody on the team for some reason lost all their shield, she brings it all back. She also gives you a free full gauge of overdrive. Same thing here. Her passive skill, just for existing, is a party crit rate up times by 100%, so you're guaranteed to crit. And then she also has a regular move that gives an ally attack up and crit damage up, which pairs really well with her EX passive skill. And then other than that, we are also looking at some of the other things that she has, like her limit break, where she can give party skill use limit up once, so every EX skill that you have, you can use it one more time. She can lower the cost of SP with her limit break 1, and then her limit break 3 gives party SP recovery to the whole team at battle start. So that's the extra SP you get at the start. So instead of, what is it, you get 7 at the start or 6 at the start, you get 8 now or 7 now. I forget which one it is. I don't be paying attention, I'm not gonna lie. But yes, these characters are definitely some high contenders for what would be close to the anniversary. And then Hisame is just really nice for Ice Override. Same thing with Sumomo, she's really good for Pierce crit. Yuki is a really nice debuffer, and the reason why her light version is so strong with Super Break, which is why she's one of the best in slot characters, is because she legit adds an extra turn of the enemy being down after you break them, which is pretty strong. That is 2 turns of the enemy being paralyzed for the most part. That is going to allow you to do a lot more with it, with comes to surviving more, doing more damage, all that different type of stuff, which is all really good with this Yuki. But like I said, I do think these 2 characters specifically would be the ones that would come during the anniversary. That is why I said in my previous video, plus now saying in my video right now, is that this characters that are coming out, Kanade, Yuri, and Ari, these characters for the most part aren't a must, they aren't a need, they're pull if you really like Angel Beats, which I really like Angel Beats. Hopefully I can pull these guys pretty quickly. But other than that, if you are not too keen on pulling on the Angel Beats banners, if you don't care too much about these characters, or if you're wondering how to best optimize your quartz that you want to use, which of course you always want to pull for the characters you like the most, because that gives you the most enjoyment for the game. But if you want to know a little bit more meta wise what you should be saving your quartz for, Sadly, it won't be for these characters unless you really like Angel Beats. Then that should trump all. If you really like Angel Beats or limited characters, these characters do not come back out unless it's an Angel Beats collab event. But everything else points to Admiral Aoi and Ruka Diva potentially coming in the next half of the anniversary. If they don't come, they're gonna come very, very soon because of the timeline that we're in, and these are pretty integral parts of the I guess you could say units that you use for future content, just because the power does ramp up quite a bit later down the line. But other than that, that should be it for when it comes to what characters we should be seeing that are noteworthy coming into the game. Some of these guys are really good, some of these guys are nice to have, some of these guys of course are pull if you really want them. But other than that, that's gonna be it for this video when it comes to the first anniversary first half of what characters should be coming and what characters are coming. Other than that, we're gonna get into that master skill video very soon. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See y'all in the next one, and peace.